After last week's endeavours into what findings within the provinces of Midfiela, Ginzander and Coletria, it's time we departed to the next provinces we are about to showcase for this episode. I'm Phelan Lancaster, and today we will be exploring in detail the provinces of Iremith and Hussaria. And to know exactly why Iremith is so bossy in how I make my content. Thanks guys. We begin our episode in Iremith, as I stated previously, being my home province as a matter of fact, and has endured a huge intrigue of history and prosperity within the population. Within a matter of months, even dealing with a province civil war. Seems weird that how I say that, but hey, that's religion I suppose. So instead of doing the generic way of how I explained the past of the province, I thought it would be a funny idea to do an oversimplified version of the Arameth Civil War and how those events unfolded. You ready? Here we go. Here's what the map looks like, to the most accurate I can do. I just really need to hire someone to do maps for me. Anyway, we have the Luxites, led by Cartinos and the Tacitus, the peoples whose religion that were oppressed by the Luxites' local government and began to rebel against them. The first battle happened in the town of Andrul, where the Tacitus defended pretty well at first, until King Gary arrived out of nowhere and the Tacitus had to retreat from the town. Next was the Battle of Aladan, which was a struggling victory for the Tacitus, but they just managed to kick out the Luxites in the end of the day. After the Luxites' defeat, they were eager to defeat the enemy at the Sanctuary. However, their plans failed and the Luxites had to retreat soon after. The Luxites were in panic and Cartinos was to blame for the failures of the army and was executed by orders of Velpix, Order 66 style.
Execute Order 66.
The Battle of Thorfheim was next, and memes galore were made about the battle. It was somehow shown to be a prophecy, however, with the destructive mess of the city by some TNT explosions that led to a whole griefing scandal. Fun. Despite the TNT explosions, the battle was a victory for the Luxites, and the Tacitus had to flee back to Wiccan's castle. The final battle was on the approach outside of Lolar, and it was a victory for the Tacitus, and the civil war was over. I need a cup of tea. With that being said, we begin our journey in Thorfheim, a town just on the Radican Empire's border. The town was founded on the 31st of August 2022 and had struggles with these blood clowns a while back with their tomfoolery. The only information I really got from this place is that they had a strong town pride because they are better than everyone else. Some arrogance I say. Then we head to Wiccan's castle, and this is a personal point for me as this was my home for some time. Funnily enough, I was the lord of this small town until I gave it up for my tavern and simple life in Andrul. It was built on top of the ruins of the first Lolar tribes, with some of the buildings continuing its design from that time. The lord of this town was actually the leader of the Talicus movement. Sadly enough, he was found dead only a few days after the end of the Civil War, and now this town is for anyone who wishes to seek refuge from any disaster in Eldon. Now, as we head over to Andrul, the Lord gave me a piece of paper as I was here and specifically told me not to film anything about the town. They did not mention my tavern though, so here's La Folie Tavern. Also in the note it says this town is formerly owned by a literal child, but not anymore. Don't touch the flowers or go near the librarian is nice, but make sure she doesn't give you a bouquet of flowers. In bold, there's nothing inside the town. Honestly, I just can't believe this is just the most strangest thing I've ever been given for information in a town. I live here. Like, what the hell? Like, what am I supposed to do with this information? What? Oh, there's someone behind me? Oh, hello there, kind lord. How are you?
Why, hello there, old sport.
Don't worry, it's all fine. Now we finally come to the capital of Iremith, Lolar. The predecessor of this town was called Lerwick back in the beginnings of the province, but failed sometime in April 2022 at best guess. The town has been classed as a major trading centre for all types of production, and has been cased to be the base of Aramethian democracy. However, there are certain parts of this town that shows some funny sides. For example, this massive Luxite graveyard that the Teclis trolled about. Even the liberals didn't get a chance to survive against their might. However, there's also a darker side to this place, where the slum area here, outside the main part of the town, is where cat people have been located. Now, it's not clear whether prejudice is involved here or not, but something is clearly not right here. Now we come to the lands of Hassaria, the furthest province to the world borders. Hassaria is a vital lifeline of trade and travel to and from the different places within the province. Its fishing has been well known, and its nature is to be grown with the Angelus belief of the land. Now, let's get to the good details, but before we do that, we must dive into the times when Hassaria was a nation. The first remnants of Hassaria was under Nova Regna, where it was a combination of different tribes around the region. They constantly fought and bickered with each other for full control of the area until the Poth from Rathnir shipwrecked off the coast and the crew were either killed or captured by the nearby tribes. The remaining Poths joined the tribe clans after communications was made between them and managed to unite the southern tribes together. Hassarius was constructed soon after and became the Kingdom of Hassaria, expanding northward and invading the tribes up there. Again, I really need to hire someone for this. This is embarrassing. And here we come to our first town being Hassarius, and it is quite a formidable place to say the least, protected by these big walls and surrounded by waters. And you can say for sure that it is quite a defendable position. It has had its fair share of battles throughout its existence and has been defended upon and retaken on many occasions. The most noticeable places we can find is the memorial of the Battle of Green Tower. However, that is a completely different video for someone else to do and way above my pay grade. We now come to the town of Andria, a major production city due to the talented workers who invented revolutionary ways to produce the finest brews, delicious foods, and breeding rare species of animals. After the death of Arnelius Fledgenhorn, his son Bjorn moved the capital here because of his centralized location and high population. I swear this is my imagination, but I feel like this castle looks familiar to Wiccan's castle. And finally we come to the town of Riotha, and was founded by Nine Unlimited, who was an ambitious merchant and mage during the early days of the kingdom. Its position is on a small island off the southern coast of Hassaria and is connected to the mainland with a narrow land bridge. Hold on a sec, that's the same castle again. It's the same as Wiccan's castle. And on that note, we conclude our episode. And next week, we'll begin our journey once again in the provinces of Torfheim and Arm Solus.